Hey, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's live where we are talking about which content trends are necessary, because I personally believe that you don't need to use all of the content trends that are popular right now to be successful or profitable in your business or even online. So definitely stay tuned for this live. If you're watching the replay, then thank you so much. Now let's get started. All right, so I have my trusty dusty iPad here. I'm going to be looking at it to go over my notes and to make sure that I talk about everything I want to talk about tonight. But for those of you who are new here, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Chelsea. I am the owner of Zion Studios, which is a digital multimedia company. And we are currently in the process of hosting our next content creation for amateurs course. That is going to be happening April 1st through the 3rd, 2024. It's our signature online course. So if you are interested in that course, then click the link in our bio and you can sign up and register for it. And I'm super excited about this course, but tonight, like I said, we're talking about which content trends are necessary. So there are about 6 content trends that I have been seeing online and on social media as a content creator myself, and I want to share them with you just in case you were wondering if you needed to do them in your business, how to do them, if it's actually necessary, because you may not want to use them. I'm going to tell you which ones you should be using and which ones are trash. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1, we have trending audios. Okay, so that is something that I'm seeing popping up a lot more in 2024, which is our music artists, Christian music artists, secular music artists. They will come out with a song and the song will go viral on TikTok or Instagram, any of the platforms, and it's like a 30-second snippet or even a minute snippet, sometimes even 15 seconds snippet that goes viral. And everybody and their mama will be using that, and it's a trending audio sound. Now, the song itself may not have been created just for that particular platform, but people on the platform who love that artist will play it for their audiences, and you know, that's how the song goes viral. And so people will create their own renditions of what that song means, right? So for example, we have the Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, when she's like lazy and crazy and busy and wish and all these people she starts naming, like that has become a trending audio. Right now, of course, that song, I don't even know the name of that song, but I just know that snippet because I see it all the time. That right there is already getting a lot of hits on it. And it's an old school song, so it doesn't have to be a new song. It literally can be an old song, right? Artists like Money Long, a lot of her songs have gone viral on platforms, right? All these different trending audios. This, I think, is a great trend to use, specifically if you're an artist, right? If you are a music artist, I think it is a great opportunity for you to, you know, get your music out there, get your music, you know, in the right audience space, all of those things. But also as a business owner, I think it is really great because if you can take that snippet of the song and apply it to your business, right, then it's great, because then people will hear the song, they'll hear the trending audio, and then they'll go to your business and like, okay, well, what does he or she do, right? So for example, I did one on my personal platform talking about my favorite restaurants. Now, this platform is a platform that I use for my lifestyle content. So that's my day-to-day life, behind the scenes, you know, where I grocery shop, skincare products, makeup products, hair products, things like that. And so I use that Bone Thugs and Harmony song to talk about my favorite restaurants, right? And I would name them off according to the beat of the song. Okay, now that's a perfect example of how to use a trending audio in your business or with your brand. Okay, so you could talk about, if you're a realtor, you could talk about how you use that Bone Thugs and Harmony song in your, you know, in the amount of money that you make in your business, or the type of homes that you have sold for people, right? Or maybe the type of clients that you have worked for that you absolutely love. All of those different examples can work when you are creating your content. So definitely use trending audios for your content. Number 2, we have trending dances. Now, this was something that was really popular when platforms like TikTok first came out, and even when Instagram Reels first came out. A lot of people were doing a lot of the trending dances, which I think is still kind of coming around, but it's not as like loose, if you will. Like, more of these dances that are coming out now that are trending are like choreographed dances. So one dance in particular that has become really popular is a South African like beat type of dance, and that one has been really popular. Now, it's not for everybody cannot do it, right? So that's okay if you don't know how to dance. I feel like the trending dances type of content is not for everybody, and so if you are not someone who likes to dance, or you're more of a serious type of person, I think obviously stay away from that type of content. But if that is something that's a part of your brand, if you like to be funny, if you like to be entertaining to your audience, to the people that follow your business, then absolutely do the trending dances. Maybe you did dance back in the day and you want to kind of brush off those skills and show people more about you outside of your day-to-day business. I think it is a perfect opportunity. So using those trending dances, it also has trending audios, as I just mentioned. So definitely checking that out. I think it's very popular. But like I said, it did come out back in like the early 2020s, and it's kind of like settled more into just choreographed dances. It's not necessarily dances that just people come up with on the spot, like anybody can come up with. It's more so like choreographers are really promoting their business. And so if you are a choreographer or you're wanting to get into that, things of that nature, I think that this is a perfect opportunity for you to create that type of content for your business. Now, number 3, this one is a pretty controversial one. This trend is, I have my personal opinions about it, but number 3 is AI generated content. Okay, so AI generated content is anything from your photos to your videos to your captions. Is literally, AI stands for artificial intelligence. And so you're essentially, going to a robot to help you create your content. You're going to this system or this software to do your photos. And so you can use them when you're like doing your photo edits. Also your video editing. So for example, because I did test it out, they have platforms like ChatGPT. They also have Adobe. Adobe is a platform in and of itself, but they have AI generated content as well too, where you can literally type in what you're looking for and the AI software will create it for you. So for example, if you want to type in black woman doing nails, or black woman looking at a Christmas tree, literally anything you want, you type it in, and then the AI software will create that image for you. Okay. Now, of course, the AI does not get its ideas on its own. It's computed from people who have put information into it to help it build that out, right? Because a robot cannot do it itself. It has to have people to actually compute it in order for it to be able to do that. Now, the thing with AI, which I feel like most people should not even invest in it and get into it, is that you are literally taking the creativity that God could give you and you are choosing to look to something else to do that, right? That's my biggest thing with AI generated content, is that the amount of time that you would spend trying to go to this software, you could easily go to God and he could give you the idea and give you the creativity and you could create it, right? I think that's the issue that I have, is that you are going to something that is artificial when we have the actual creator who can help you to create that content, right? Now, also it depends on motive. What is your motive for using AI? Is it because you're being lazy and you just don't want to create it? Or is it, this is an avenue that you want to use to see how to improve what you're already creating? I think the motive behind what you're creating is very important as well when it comes to your content creation and which trends that you actually participate in. Because out of all of these 6 trends that I'm going to mention tonight, you have to determine what is your motive behind being a part of these trends. Is it so you can gain attention? Is it so people can validate you? Or is it so you can use it as a mechanism to further build what you are already building, right? What is your motive behind it? Number 4, we have faceless content. Now, this is one of my favorites because faceless content is perfect for people who don't want to be the face of their brand. Okay, now there are some people who are camera shy, or they say that they're camera shy and they just don't want to be in front of people because they fear people, or they fear, being judged by people, or, all of that. That's a whole different situation. If you are somebody who does not want to be the face of your brand because you want your brand or your business to be able to move on without you having to constantly show up in the camera for it, then faceless content is going to be your best friend. Now, this is a trend where all of your videos and all of your photos don't have anyone's face in it. It could just be a hand. So maybe, you have your water bottle, and instead of your face, you kind of just hold it up like this, right? You might have hands in there, okay? That is faceless content, okay? It is perfect. It does go viral a lot of times. But overall, I think it is a content trend that you should look into, especially if, like I said, if you're not wanting to be the face of your brand. Also, when it comes to product photos, like, so say for instance, you have a perfume that you are photographing, right? And you don't really need your face in that. You could show the bottle on a white background or a white backdrop. You can show the bottle, sitting on a counter in a bathroom. That does not require your face. That is called faceless content. That is also, like I said, very trendy. So that is something that you can look into when you are creating your content for your business or for your brand. Now, number 5 are hashtags, okay? Hashtags are super important when it comes to your content because it helps to get your content in front of the right eyes. It's part of what we call SEO, which is search engine optimization. Now, search engine optimization, I am going to talk a little bit about that on the 20th of March for our last live about how to analyze how to understand your analytics, because SEO is very important when it comes to analyzing your content and how well it's doing. But search engine optimization, a part of that is the hashtag. So that's helping you to get your content in front of the right people. So when you use hashtags, you want to use hashtags that are specific to that particular post, right? So for example, if I am posting about my content creation for amateurs course, I'm not going to include a hashtag pink or hashtag blue or hashtag girl life. That has nothing to do with that post. That has nothing to do with my brand. It may be a part of the colors of the flyer itself, but that has nothing to do with the actual post. So you want to be specific when you use your hashtag. So in that case, I would do hashtag content creator struggles. I would do hashtag content, aspiring content creators, hashtag new course or something of that nature, right? Because that is specific to that particular post. Okay, so when you use your hashtags, you want to be specific and you don't want to use too many, right? You want it to be straight to the point because honestly, the algorithm is going to go with like the first 3 hashtags, especially if you're on YouTube. YouTube is a great way to use hashtags in your videos as well as your shorts because you don't want to use more than 3 because that's what the algorithm is going to use to push your content out to the right people, okay? So keep that in mind. Hashtags are very important. And it also depends on the platform. Like I said, YouTube is a great platform for hashtags. TikTok is a great platform for hashtags. Instagram, I personally don't really see a benefit of using hashtags on Instagram. I know that there are people who follow hashtags on Instagram. So that is an opportunity for you to use, and maybe not using hashtags, but following hashtags. So you can see people in your industry, you can see your audience, the things that they are liking, what they are seeing, what's being put out there, and to see how you can contribute to what's already being presented. Okay. So that was, I want to say number 5. Yeah. All right. Last one is 1-minute stories and story times. Now I'm going to take a sip of water because my mouth is a little dry. Okay, so the 1-minute story times. This is a very popular trend, especially on places like TikTok and YouTube as well too. But I think it is a great opportunity I think it is a great trend to use for all businesses and brands because it allows your audience to understand more about you as the owner of the business, but also more about your business and your brand. Okay, so think, for example, Risa Tisa, right? She's a Black woman who recently went viral for sharing her story about who the F did she marry, and you know, this guy that she married who was a pathological liar, and all these things. It was a 50-part series on TikTok. I'm not sure if I want to say each video was about a minute, maybe longer, right? And so everybody had watched, well, not everybody, but a lot of people had watched that 50-part series on TikTok, right? It literally was like a Lifetime movie, okay? That is a great example of how to use story times to build your business and build your brand. It is a perfect content trend because, like I said, you're able to draw your audience into who you are, your life, and the relatability. Because as a business owner, and even as a business and a brand, a lot of your audience is going to come by way of relatability. Okay, so for example, Target is a business and a brand. Okay, they have their audience is able to relate to that business because of the type of products that they carry, the aesthetic that they carry inside of the store, how people feel when they go inside and they're walking around versus Walmart, for example, and how people feel when they go in there and what they see when they go in there and the type of products that is carried at Walmart. Two very different brands, right? And two very different audiences can relate to each of those brands. Okay, so when you think of your story times, you know, I think of business owners who are, you know, single moms, and business owners who got it out the mud, and business owners who have a relatable story of not having, you know, everything handed to them, but really having to work hard. Their audience can relate to that, right? Maybe they have a story of being divorced and having to start from the ground up again. Some people can relate to that, and so they build their brand on sharing that story. So story times is a great trend to start to build your audience so people can get to know you and they can get to understand you. And when you tell your stories, people are able to see themselves in your story, and that is what makes them stay. That is what makes them want to purchase from you. That is what makes them want to continue following you, is because they are either inspired, they are encouraged, they are motivated, they feel, you know, relatable to you. And boom, there you go. So that is a great content trend to use, especially in 2024. So if you aren't already using that content trend, definitely hop on that even now, especially because podcasts are coming up and there's tons of podcasts out right now. That's how people are able to build their audiences as well, because they're sharing more of their stories. Okay. So again, let's go over the 6 content trends. The first one was trending audios. So again, that's a snippet of a song that's maybe already out or it just came out, and people are utilizing that to talk about their business or their brand, right? So for example, like I said, the Bone Thugs and Harmony song where it's naming off all the different people, like that is a trending, like that particular snippet of the song is trending right now. And so people can use that for their business or for their brand to talk about maybe the different, you know, restaurants they like to go to or the different clients that they've worked with, things like that. Okay, so number 1 was trending audios. Number 2 was trending dances. Okay, that one is, you know, the choreographed dances. Again, that one is not for everybody, but if that's a part of your business, a part of your brand is like connecting with people and being entertaining and being funny, definitely use that. Okay, number 3, AI generated content. Y'all already know how I feel about that one, but if that is your thing, by all means, then use it to the glory of God. Number 4, faceless content. That is where your face is not in the camera, not because you don't want to be, but because you don't want your brand to be focused on you. You want the brand to be able to carry itself without you having to show up there. Okay. Number 5 is hashtags. Again, it depends on the platform that you use for those hashtags and how many you use. Remember, don't use more than 3 hashtags and be very specific to that particular post that you are creating. And last one is stories, 1-minute stories or story times. That is a great way to build your audience and allow them to be drawn into who you are, what you're about, your story, and allow them to be able to relate to you. All right. Are there any questions? If you do have questions, definitely leave them in the comments of this video. Also, be sure to share this live. There's a share button at the bottom here. So definitely share this live with your friends. Let them know to watch the replay. And we'll be back again tomorrow which is Tuesday night, 7 p.m. right here, Eastern Standard Time, to talk about how to grow on social media in 2024. Okay, so thank you all so much. If you want to join the Content Creation for Amateurs course, it is happening April 1st through the 3rd, 2024. It's our signature online course. You can click the link in our bio to register for that course and grab your seat. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you for joining me. Bye.